Ahoy and welcome everybody to Travel Talk. I'm Mickey Mark, and join me as always, my first mate, Captain Neverland Nate.
All right, I like how you blended that. I was wondering where you were going to go with first mate. I was like, oh, here we go.
What's happening,
Uh,
man?
Mark, how's Texas? I think you're getting some weather today. Wouldn't want to sail in this stuff, huh?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, right now it's clear, but the storms are a brewing on the horizon. So we've got
I saw some
large
maps.
to
Looks a little,
very large hail expected. So yeah, they're going to be throwing around some baseballs in the sky tonight. That's what it sounds like.
yeah, wild, man. That's crazy. Well, stay
That's what
safe.
Texas is, though. Texas in the springtime, man. Storms every week,
Yeah,
every week.
my wife's college friend lives out there, and you guys got nowhere to go. See, that's the problem. Like at least over here on the East Coast and Northeast, like East Coast, Northeast, not really down south much. Basements, man, basements. You
Yeah.
hide in the basement. You know
We
what
don't
I
have
mean?
those here. We got storm cellars, like they're basically just big shipping
Oh no,
containers dug a
I
hole in
saw
the ground.
Dorothy run into one of those once in a movie. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how it turned out for them, right?
She made it.
So we missed last Friday night. It wasn't on purpose, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But things happen, right? All kinds of stuff comes out, news, everything, plans change. So we had to throw a change up into the mix. But we wanted to try something new, which was tonight, Monday. We haven't done a Monday show ever, so we wanted to see what kind of viewers we got. So it looks like we got a few people joining us tonight. So thank
Hi
you for
everybody.
watching.
Thanks for
Yeah,
joining. Say hi,
yeah,
comment, even
yeah.
if your
Drop a
name is
comment.
Sache Bakuzer.
Yeah, how was your
Just
weekend? Did
comment.
everybody have a good time? Get out much? What do you think about the new Monday night time frame? Is that something you guys would like us to continuously on Mondays instead of Fridays?
Yeah.
Let us know. Hey, Bradley, welcome.
So Bradley.
So yeah, let's talk about some big news. I mean, huge news that was dropped literally Friday afternoon by both the CDC as well as the theme parks in Florida. So, if you haven't turned on the news, opened up your app on your phone, Facebook, anything, you've probably seen it, right? So the CDC have formally announced on Friday that fully vaccinated um, persons can be indoors and outdoors without a mask. Um, and shortly after that announcement, Disney said, or no, I'm sorry, Universal said, "Hey, hold my beer," and they did. They basically said, "Hey, we're not requiring masks outside anymore."
And then Mickey leaned
Um,
over. He goes, "No, what'd you say?"
yeah, he said, "No, no, 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 I got this." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't. I think maybe an hour, not even an hour.
Yeah.
Disney's like, "Hey, we're gonna do the same thing they're doing." So
Yeah.
yeah, no more masks officially in outdoor spaces, right? So all indoor
90% of the park.
spaces. Exactly, right. So we talked about this weeks ago. Even my prediction was by July 4th or shortly thereafter, we would be walking around without masks, outside the park. So
Well, I mean, they
it's
they
here earlier
removed
than expected.
they removed a lot of the place markers inside
Yep.
of some of the theaters. They've taken down a lot of the plastic.
Yeah, the
So,
partitions are coming
yep.
down. So yeah, it's making progress. Now, let me just clarify and say that masks are still required on Disney property inside
Correct.
all indoor locations,
That's
all
hotels, that's
attractions. Yep.
rides, attractions,
From
lines.
entrance
You
to
have,
exit.
yep.
Yep. On the ride, in theaters, in restaurants, in merchandise locations. So if you have to
Yep.
walk through a entryway, you got to have a mask on, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
again, it's optional, so you can still walk around with your mask on outdoors if you like. So it's
Sure.
totally up to you.
Well, I
And
was seeing
Disney's
pictures of
not.
Universal, and they're usually a little bit more risque, okay, of the
Yes,
theme parks. They're a
correct.
little bit more aggressive, just because of, what they like. I don't want to say what they attract because I go there, so putting myself
They're a
in a
little more lax. Let's just be honest, right? They're a little bit
very
more
much.
lax.
But I saw a considerable amount of people in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter with masks on, and I mean, look,
Yeah,
dude, I don't care. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask if you're gonna not wear a mask. Just do it smart. Just everybody just take care of each other and be safe. Like
right.
that's the top thing. Just take care of everybody
Exactly.
and be safe.
So
Just don't
th-
don't be
that
silly.
goes back to what I was going to say. It's on the honor system, right? Disney, Universal, and nobody's standing at the gate going, "Hey, are you vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? Show me your
Right.
vax card." Right? And we're not doing that. Even Florida
Not
says
in the
they're not
parks anyway.
mandating it. Right? They're not doing it
Not
at
in
the
the
parks. They're
parks.
not doing it at the
Right.
resorts. Disney and Universal have already both said they're not going to require proof of
Of
that to get
vaccination.
in.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's all the honor system. So yeah, like Nate said, if you're not vaccinated, wear your mask, right? Just that's all. If you are vaccinated, you still can wear a mask if you like. You don't
Right.
have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But you still have to wear it in all those places that we just described. So it's great news. Obviously, Disney also announced at the same time, hey, we've been upping capacity. They said that
Yeah,
happened shortly before Mother's Day. They started upping limits without telling anybody, which
they're
we
not
kind of
giving
saw that
numbers though.
happening.
They're not telling us how much it is. What
Right,
we do
right.
know is that it was up to 40% before this whole announcement.
Yeah.
So,
I think we'll be
excuse
closer
me,
to
the fact that
50, 60% by the
I'd
end of
say
summer.
I would say we're at 50% by before 4th of July.
Possibly, right? So nobody really
June's gonna
knows.
blow it open, I think. And
Yeah,
he already said
Universal.
twice. Look, you heard me. I said I'm
Yeah,
gonna raise attendance. Are you
yeah, yeah.
listening?
They've
Because
got
gonna
their
raise
hand
it.
on the throttle, and they're just let's go punch it,
Yep.
right? So, and I really think it's going to come down to what Universal does because we've seen from the beginning Universal's been leading the pack, so to speak, on crowd levels and social distancing and
Yeah, and
markers and
I mean
temp
they're selling
checks
out every morning. It's
every
almost
morning, 10 o'clock. Yeah,
daily that it's by 11 o'clock. Universal
yeah,
is at capacity. And remember, if you stay at Universal, you do get that priority entrance, so
right.
you
You're
won't be
guaranteed admission no matter what if you're a
right.
resort guest. So.
Yep.
Which is why it pays to book on site, right? So that you're always guaranteed to get in no matter what.
Yeah. Well,
And as we get deeper into summer, it's not going to get any better.
no.
What fills up at 11 a.m. will fill up at 10 a.m. and 9:30. You know what I mean? It'll be a line at 6 a.m. just to get into security. So it happens.
So a lot of you have been asking us about another elephant in the room. Ahoy, mates! Love the news of face coverings and Disney Wish booking beginning. It's been a busy day. It really has, Pat. And also great setup you had at that
Yeah,
bridal show the other
that was
day. That was
awesome,
awesome.
man.
Good setup. I like your table. Those are some great binders you had made. Or made
Hopefully,
self
you got a
made,
lot of
whatever it
traction
is.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, because I've had a lot of people ask me about this because they're hearing rumblings. So again, if you're watching, if you have social media and you're on any platform of Disney of any kind, there's been rumblings of dining returning. So things that we have heard is nothing official from
Sure.
Disney at all. So this is, please don't take this as here we go. But
Things are
the
looking
reason it
better,
has
right? So we're
the
hearing a
reason it
lot more
hasn't come
things.
back yet is because they're training cast members on the dining procedures and how the dining is going to work and stuff like that. So it's not like it's
Right.
not coming; it's coming, and they kind of threw out a weird window of between July and October. It's going to come
Right.
back. So
So here's the
they
big
gave a whole
catalyst, right?
season, an entire
The
season.
catalyst isn't that they don't have enough restaurants to open up because a lot of them are still closed. But the catalyst is they don't have enough people, and
Right.
a lot of that was the Disney College program, which just got reinstated right a few weeks ago. And Disney said, hey, as of this date, they're starting, which is like I think next week.
Yeah.
So they plan to have these people starting next week
Good
for the
job,
Disney
Pat.
College program, and then trained, ready to go within 2 to 3 weeks. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why we've heard anything from as early as July all the way through October. It's just really how fast they can ramp up, get everything
And
going, people trained.
and I heard someone else in another post. Again, this is not official. This was off of a booking engine of sorts, and their reservation for Port Orleans was canceled, and said it would not be opening till July 31st, or
That
after
could have
July
just been
31st.
a placeholder or whatnot. But if
Right.
Disney gets a lot more people, which now that the mask mandate is optional outdoors, I think
Right.
it's going to be a huge game changer. It's going to increase attendance. It's going to bring more people, and if they have more people, they're going to need more hotels. So,
Well,
um,
yeah. I mean, everybody knows Polynesian opens July 17th. We've actually got three more. Big question.
good question. Pat wants to know when are fast passes returning. So my
I
prediction
don't think. I
is
say no.
I don't think they're coming back. It's what we know of, right? So the Fast Pass Plus free option that everybody got, no matter if you were on site or not, I think that's gone for good. As sad as I don't want to say it, I think that version of Fast Pass is not coming back.
But
What you may see happen,
they have gone to great lengths to
yes,
remove that nomenclature from the park. They have taken down
sure,
fast pass signs. They painted over the one. Remember at Jungle Cruise,
yep, yep.
and there's numerous ones that are just gone. So
Well, a lot of that was more or less, let's get rid of the signage so people quit asking guest relations, why are they going through Fast Pass and I can't, you know what I mean? So, because you still even see it today, months
you
later,
think they might
right?
change
That
it to like the fast pass disabled line? You know what I mean? Have
right,
a more
right,
joyous,
exactly.
Okay, all right.
A special entrance line, so
Yeah,
or
okay.
alternate access line, because you see a lot of those little TP style signs out, alternate access or alternate
Yeah, but
entrance.
don't you think the reason that they tested the club level thing was to see if people would actually pay? Like if they already had
And they
something,
did have
how
people who
much more
did
they
it,
would pay,
but
and everybody did it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they did have a lot of people do it, but at the same time, um, it's such a small subset of rooms. So that's what I'm saying. The free option, I think, is gone. Yes, more like Max Pass, right?
Yeah,
So
Pat,
a
that's
paid
what
for
I said
option.
when I saw it go away. I said, you know what, Max Pass, Disneyland does it properly. I mean, obviously, it's a different kind of venue. It's a
Right.
smaller situation, it's a lot smaller scale. But that Max Pass doing it day by day, giving
But
everybody the opportunity. Yeah,
think of it like a Max Pass tiered system, right? Okay, so you
right.
get your bottom system's 3 fast passes. Maybe if you want more, 5 or 6, there's a second tier. Maybe you want 9 fast passes, there'll be a third tier. I see Disney doing something like that, whereas
I
you
just
can
why
pay
don't
as you
yeah, but why
go,
not just crush it and do what Universal does? And yes,
and to
Universal
put
is
in
more
Express,
pricey.
yeah.
Yeah, and just do Express. You want to pass all day? Here's, it's XYZ amount of dollars per
That I
person
mean,
per day.
and that does work, right? It works for Universal, but at the same time, Disney always wants to have the best of both worlds when they can sell it as well as still get crowd
And
control.
also, think about it this way. If they were to institute any type of other system, fast pass or a tiered, like you said, how would that affect the booking engine? Because in Universal,
Right.
you can put together a package and say, guest 1, 2, and 3 are going to two park, 2 day, park to park, and then one person can go 1 day, one park. You know what I mean? You can break it up
Well,
like that.
I'm sure they're not going to change their current structure where
So
everybody
it's
in the package has,
everybody does
yeah,
max pass, like, or
exactly. Everybody
express
does
pass type
everything, same
situation.
thing,
Wow, see
right?
that?
Same number of tickets, same number of
Oof.
express. Otherwise,
Yeah.
then you got to break it up into separate reservations, right? Because yeah,
Or
Disney's all
do they
about that
say
cash.
if you stay in a so let's go against Universal, not go against, but bring up what Universal
Yeah,
does. So
staying in
what if
deluxe, you get 3 for free or four
there
for
you
free,
go.
something like
That's
that.
or you get the express pass for free if you stay in a bungalow or in a
Right.
3 bedroom grand villa, or something like that.
Yeah, virtual queues. I see those being more and more
Oh,
popular with all the
that
newer rides.
those are brainless. But I like what you said there. I wouldn't it's so easy and it does work there. Yes, it does, but most of the people who visit Disneyland California live there. That I
Right.
mean it's like their theme park. The issue that I think people are going to have is we've saved up for years to come to Walt Disney World. We're coming from, and you're going to tell me that my entire trip was wasted on 3 rides.
Right.
They're not going to be able to do that. They need to move more people through those lines. But again, it could
Sure.
be any of these situations, a max
I
pass
mean,
situation or
the pandemic threw a wrench into everything, right? And now we're back to the ages of before FastPass, when
right,
everybody had an equal playing field, and it really was first come first serve. If you got to the park first thing in the morning, you were guaranteed to ride whatever e-ticket attraction you wanted to ride,
right.
and maybe one or two others before the middle of the afternoon before everybody got cranky,
They're
hot,
going to
and
bring them
tired.
back. Bring back.
Yeah,
They're going to rip it out and hand it to
yeah,
them.
the ticket books exactly. So, to go back to what we just had, I mean, would seem only logical because that's what everybody knows. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who've come to Disney for the first time since the pandemic.
Sure.
Okay, and they don't know the old system. And to
Right.
throw that, I mean, let's just be real. To throw that kind of headache back into people's laps is not what Disney wants to do. They
Of
knew from
course.
the get go that what they started with was simple, but that over the years it's got more and more and more complex. And a
Right.
lot of guests have complained that planning a Disney vacation is very, very difficult for somebody who doesn't do it, right?
Right.
Like us. Okay, so that's why, people like us have gotten more and more business because over the years it's become more complex and you need a quote unquote Disney Sherpa to kind of guide you through from place to place and
It's just easy.
reservations.
It's just easy that do I know how to put oil in my car? I sure do. I'm not going to
Sure.
lay underneath it, jack it up, drain the oil. I'm going to bring it to somebody who does that. That's all. It's not.
Right.
It may not be the hardest thing in the world to figure out, but why go through all the rigmarole? You know what I mean?
And a
You're
lot
going
of
to
this
pay. You're
also
going to pay for the filter. You're going to pay for the oil. You know what I mean?
a lot of this is going to hinge, of course, on the new Disney Genie app that's supposed to be coming out sometime
Right.
this year. So
Well,
that's going to
because
play a big thing.
that could be levels deeper than we can imagine on
Right.
how in depth planning you can get.
Yep.
Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
soon,
yeah,
Pat. It could be as early as this summer. So,
yeah. I mean, whatever. I hear a lot of
well,
things, but I also on like 10 different social media sites from
I know
from
many
Disney all
people who
day.
booked that are not in California for this summer, and the people on the other end at Disney, at the DRC, said, "We've been told that regardless of where you live, to sell it."
Mm,
So that
I'm
Disney
not. Yeah,
wouldn't do that if they weren't planning on refunding those guests money and making say they can't come. So,
sure.
Now
Well,
this is for people who
they
had
opened at
summer,
18%. So that's kind of
and now they're
that's
at I think
slim.
25 or 30, right? And getting up there.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
also, Pat, thanks for coming by.
yeah,
You blew that little whistle for all of us about Disneyland Paris opening up on June 17th. Um,
yeah, June 17th. They're finally reopening after a brief reopening and then a shutdown again by the country. So they had a little
yeah,
spike
had about a
in
month,
the
and then it got crazy. But now it's right back. So it's a
yeah.
wave. You got to ride the
Right,
wave.
exactly. Riding it. So, and since they're riding the wave, just a few days after that, the new Disney's Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, which is the Marvel themed, New York themed resort there in Disneyland Paris, opens June 21st, and
Yep.
bookings are available starting tomorrow. So, great news for Disneyland Paris. Can't wait to
Yeah.
visit there. That's one of my next ones on my list. Them in Shanghai
It's
and
Pat, sometimes it's tough to try to, because we don't get emails directly about Disneyland Paris unless you're signed up for something along that. It doesn't come through the DTA and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, then
For sure, Bradley. I'll see you June 2nd on that flight to Vegas.
yeah, I'm not sure I'm not sure how they're going to handle their capacities. It's a different kind of an atmosphere up there, over there in Paris. So, but again, we don't get notified of that kind of stuff. We only do Hong Kong,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Yep.
So
Absolutely, Bradley. Take care, my friend.
yeah.
So yeah, that's good news about Paris. I'm
Yep.
hoping that Shanghai and Disney Sea and them they get to reopen as
Yeah.
well soon.
I mean, if
Things
there's
don't
one
look
that I
as
think I want to go to is Disney Sea. Like I've had friends who have gone there and just say it's just something else. It's not even you can't even fathom it. Plus, they get all the popcorn buckets. Like they get the popcorn buckets that we
they
don't
get a
even get
lot of
over
the
here.
cool stuff, right? So they get a
They
lot of the
really do.
merch
Yeah.
because that culture over there is really, I mean, animation and
Of
cartoons and
course.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. It
Yep.
drives that. So I just want to go to see because I've seen videos and people's experience, and it's just a totally different culture.
Right.
I mean, everything from the food's different to the merch, like we just talked about. To I mean, even like some of the attractions, right, are all in their language. So I mean, just you get to be an international tourist. Like they come to Disney, we've
Sure.
all seen them, right? So it just to get to feel like what they feel in a different Disney park would be
Yep.
pretty amazing. And I hear the people over there are just, I mean, don't get me wrong, cast members at any Disney park are great, but the ones in Shanghai and Disney Sea and Tokyo and all that, just they literally are the nicest people in the world. So
Right.
we'll
Nice.
literally jump hand over fist to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about some cruising updates. So we've
Yeah.
kind of got through the parks. Disneyland and Universal are doing their own thing, but as you can see, we've got some updates to cruising. We've got some official word from the CDC. They are allowing cruise ships to resume sailings in the U.S. This summer.
Mhm.
Carnival has already announced that they plan on resuming sailing July 3rd based upon, approval from the CDC. But what the framework has laid out is 98% of the crew has to be fully vaccinated and 95% of guests have to be fully vaccinated to board and cruise the vessels. So,
So let's talk about what that means first of all. If a
yep.
thousand people can fit on the ship, they're not going to take 990 of them and be like, okay, you guys are all vaccinated and you 10 are. It's going to be that's set the extra number set aside for children,
Right. Those who
infants,
can't
things
be
like that.
vaccinated.
So
Right.
yeah,
So
everyone's
mostly
going to
your
have to
kids
show
and
proof
under
of
12.
vaccination. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there will be a proof of some sort. They haven't announced how they're going to handle that. It's going to be
Right.
a logistical nightmare of some sort. I imagine they're going to adopt either something that CLIA or IATA has been working on for months, a digital, vaccine passport of some sort
Yeah.
to kind of, facilitate a faster entry at the port. We do know there will be testing at the port. Don't know how they're going to handle that logistically again, but it'll be a rapid test or antigen test to test you right then and there before you board to make sure everybody's good.
Right.
And then as far as we know, we've got conflicting information on the CDC from this because, as we just talked about, Friday they said fully vaccinated guests don't have to wear masks indoors or outdoors. But also last week they said aboard cruise ships, masks are required in all indoor spaces. They can only be removed
Right.
outdoor and on the pool deck. So
Even though they're
Again, kind of
supposed to have
wishy
some
washy.
really insane types of air filtration on those ships now too. I mean,
Well, I mean, we've learned from people like Virgin, right? So, a lot of them have adapted and completely changed out their air filtration system. Some of them put in
yep,
brand new systems from the start that were beyond state of the art to
right.
handle this to begin with. So, yeah, they've got the 99.9% of the, antimicrobial, whatever you want to call it, air scrubbing, full
Yeah,
ionization, HEPA
yeah.
filters, you name it, right?
Like
Um,
there's one that when you leave the
better than
room,
airlines.
it almost cleans the room. Like it gives it all
Yeah.
the UV
In
when you're
minutes, right?
gone.
So
Yeah, it's
literally,
crazy.
like it's total overhaul of that technology. But it's only going to make cruising safer, right? And
Sure. That's just gonna make
mask or
everybody
no
safer.
mask, right?
Yep.
People I know are dying to get back out on the seas and cruise. You have just like you have avid Disney people, you've got avid
Yep.
cruisers. It's all they do.
So
Um,
so for those of you who don't know, Disney Wish was available for booking today. It sold
yeah,
out. It sold out immediately for
minutes.
its inaugural sailing in June 22nd of 22.
Yeah,
June some
June of 2022. Yep, next
June
year.
of 2022. The inaugural sailing went all the way. And they've got some pretty crazy rooms on there. I mean, there if you want to have an experience, this is going to be the ship to do it on. I mean, we talked a lot about Virgin and how beautiful it is and how geared towards, that older crowd it is with the tattoo shop
Hmm.
and all those kind of things. But yeah, this is going to be like the ultimate for the kid inside of you. That's a room. That's not a lobby. That's that. What is
Yeah,
that one? That is that the
so this
that's the
is
funnel?
the first ever Disney Cruise Line funnel suite. So, if you don't know what the funnel is, the big stacks on the ship, there's usually two of them. One is the actual exhaust from the engines, and the other one's just a makeshift,
Yeah, it's like a
Fox funnel, so to speak. But this one, the Fox funnel, is going to have the first ever two-story Disney Wish suite. And so they're calling it the Disney Wish Tower Suite. And as you can see here, like Nate said, that's not the lobby. That's the basically the
that's like the
atrium of
living
your suite.
quarters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is like the main living area of your suite, right?
yeah.
You can see that winding staircase there in the back room to the second level. There's the double doors that probably lead either in or out of the suite, or maybe even to
The
the
balcony.
library. Yeah, or maybe the balcony. Who knows? Um, so here's some more. Here's what the suite looks
Yeah,
like, right? So
that's crazy.
only one of these on the entire ship. So
Yep.
the only one, and it's got great wall to ceiling, ceiling to floor windows. Just awesome views. Again, just
So we did see people who booked this room already. Obviously, they did it today, and people were asking on a lot of the social media outlets, like, how much was it? How much was it? And what did I say, Mark? It was $7,500 a night for 8 people, and it's a
correct.
4-night cruise.
Yeah, so it's
So,
like thirty
I
seven
mean,
thousand,
it's like
but
thirty
two
thousand
thousand
dollars
square
divided by
feet.
eight. Yeah,
That's bigger than most people's houses.
yeah,
Okay,
2,000 square feet. It's nuts.
8 guests, two main bedrooms, a children's room, a library that also converts to a bedroom, four and a half bathrooms. I mean, if you can't get ready in that suite, I don't know what's your problem.
Right?
That again, magnificent living room, open dining area, large pantry, a bar, um, and just amazing views. So,
Yep.
um, here's one of the bedrooms. I mean, one
Yeah.
of the two master bedrooms in the suite. So each with its own private view out the back. And look at that bathroom.
But
It's
and the crazy thing
amazing.
is that a lot of the bathrooms on the ship look just like this. They're very
Yeah.
elegant looking. They have that same kind of mirror, a very thin, very sleek, modern sinks, things like that. Like they're not all going to have that soaking tub with the
Right.
not all the bathrooms on the
But
ship
their
are
bathrooms,
that
yeah,
big, but
are believe it or not, against other cruise lines, Disney has the bigger bathrooms.
yeah.
They call them a split half bath. So in each one of their deluxe family rooms, they have basically two bathrooms so that multiple people can get ready at the same time, which makes it a lot more convenient when you're cruising with multiple people, especially little
Yeah,
ones.
families, things like that. Yep.
Mom and daughter can get ready on one side, dad and son on the other, what have you. Guys on one side, females on the other, however you want to split it up. But yeah, having two of those in your room can make the difference of a half hour to an hour, getting
Sure.
ready for the day or the night. So.
Yep. Nice.
And again, those are available now. The inaugural sailing, like Nate said, is it's booked. It's gone. If you didn't get on it, I'm sorry. If you
They're
didn't
on
get on the wait list,
there's people on the wait list for the next one, which is just the DVC sailing that they're doing
yeah,
on the Wish, which is the middle to end of June. That's a 4-night sail, and that's already waitlisted. So if you're
Yep.
if you're a vacation club member, you know what waitlisting is like. You missed your time to book. You get put on a wait list, and they tell you 7 days before you want to go that you got your room or not, and that's scary sometimes.
I mean, and people are just excited even to get on that list, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
because yeah, stuff happens, people cancel, whatever. We do know the inaugural sailing is going to be limited capacity, as well as future sailings after that through through the end of summer.
Yeah.
But
DVC sold out in minutes. And Pat, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you had to use points, or at least one
that
of
was
the
for the
people.
inaugural sailing, or that first one, wasn't it? I think after that
But
you
that's
didn't
the
have to use
DVC
points.
sailing. I think that's the
Yeah,
one they would. The DVC's
right. They have an
it's the
inaugural
DVC
DVC
member
sailing.
cruise. That's what it is.
Right, right.
Yep.
Members only cruise. Yep.
Yep.
So that one you had to use points for, but the other ones after that could be, points or
And a
cash.
lot of people say that the points to cash ratio is definitely you'd rather pay cash. Because
For
points are
Disney
like
Cruise Line,
gold.
I've heard that, right? So,
Points are like gold.
well, they really are. I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest. A DVC point is just about the equivalent of a half ounce of gold. So,
I said no. DVC. At least one person had to use points. Okay, so if you had
okay,
4 people, one person could use points, the rest cash. So
that's still reasonable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Make
still very
them
reasonable.
pay for some of your points too, along with the
Hmm.
cash.
So speaking about Disney cruising, if you're going to be at the Walt Disney World Resort, beginning now through, they haven't announced an ending date, but I would say through the end of the summer, at the Yacht Club, the DCL merch pop-up shop is available for treats and merchandise,
Yep.
and that's basically right there as if you're walking in the lobby to your left, so
Yeah.
opposite of where the food court is. Or the quick service. So yeah, you can catch all your favorite DCL merch and treats right there for a limited
Yeah,
time.
they're doing the mugs, like the what are those? The thermos. Who makes
Yeah,
those
like
things?
the tumbler mugs. Yeah,
Tumbler. Yeah, they have that. I saw that. I saw shirts. I saw ships. Cast the
yeah,
model ships.
the die-cast ships.
Yeah,
Yep,
the die cast. So yeah, definitely check that out.
and all kinds of Disney Cruise
I'm
Line
gonna check it
treats.
out. I'll be there in 37 days. Let's go.
I'll
Let's
be
go.
there in literally 60 days. It's
All right.
58. Yeah, 58 days. Had to count backwards there for a second. Another quick just reminder: Disney's Boo Bash, which is not so scary Halloween light, begins this August, running August 10th through October 31st.
I'm sure,
Tickets are
Pat.
not on sale yet,
Right.
but they will be soon at the end of this month for resort guests and beginning next month for all guests. And then the Capture Your Moment sessions began today at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So if you're not familiar with that, the private photography session that you can book for just $50 gets you 20 minutes, basically unlimited photos and poses,
Yep. You get
at
to keep
certain
them
areas
all.
inside the park. Yeah, and
Yep.
you get to keep them all. If you've got Photo Pass or Memory Maker or an annual pass,
It throws it
you
right
get all your
on.
photos included. Otherwise, you can buy a one-day entitlement and get all your pictures that way too.
And just download them back at the room.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So, and those are available to book now, of course, 60 days in advance, just like any other experience or dining opportunity at Disney, and bookable right online through the website, not
And
through
really,
the app.
if there's anything about Disney that I tell people, clients or just for anybody, just get the memory maker.
It's the
It's the
best
most
value.
brainless opportunity you have to get the best pictures. And I know we've talked about it before, but it's really, especially on the cost of a trip. You know what I mean? The most it's going to be is 10%. Like
So it's
so.
not official, Pat, but yeah, from what I've heard, Disney resort guests will have a little bit of a head start over non-resort guests, and they said that early June was going to be the booking window for that and that Disney resort. So yeah, we're looking end of July. I'm sorry, end of
And it's
May
going to
or
be
early
different
June.
times this year. Okay.
Yeah,
So before they would let you in, I mean, I've been let into those parties as early as 4:30, you
right,
know.
exactly.
But I think you can get in at 7. Party starts at 9.
Yep.
And Mark and I were actually had a call today. We like to have calls and catch up and just talk about Disney because we love Disney and traveling and stuff. So we literally just geek out for hours on the phone. It's kind of funny. Um, about how they're going to handle the party itself, the meet and greets, if there's going to be it, or if it's going to be like they're doing with Stitch up on the stage in Tomorrowland, where he just kind of like
Hmm.
walks around and waves and does silly poses. How the Pluto and Goofy have been showing up at resorts by
Right.
poolsides, but behind a fence, or something socially distanced, so they don't have kids just running up to them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. Obviously, they're going to have awesome snacks and treats. Of
Hmm.
course, there's going to be crazy merch. Um, it would, you know, has anybody heard anything about Big Top opening? I have not heard anything about the Big Top
Well,
opening back up.
as far as I know, it's still being used as a mask relaxation zone,
Right?
and it
I
has
thought that was the
been
back though.
since. Well, I guess that was basically Pete's silly sideshow
Right.
building,
Yeah. Yeah.
which backs up to Big Top.
Yeah.
But remember back right before the pandemic, they had a huge fire and flood, and then they ripped up carpet and replaced carpet, and
Right.
then the pandemic hit. And I don't know if they've just been doing more refurbishment and updates, or if they
Right.
just don't have the traffic back there to warrant keeping it open. So
I don't know, man. That shop is a gold mine.
it is,
Gold,
and it has a lot of good
absolutely.
merchandise.
Yeah.
So, but they have moved some of that merchandise to other spots in the Magic Kingdom. But you've also, like the Merchant of Venus, that merchandise location is closed
Right.
in preparations for the rumor of the new Wreck-It Ralph attraction
Wreck-It
that's
Ralph. Yeah.
replacing the old Stitch building. So there's a
Which
lot of
not a lot of people
things.
are upset about.
Well, I
Not a
mean, come
lot of
on.
people are upset.
The only thing that I really missed was the meet and greet with Stitch, because Stitch is one of my favorites, right? So,
Sure.
but the Stitch attraction, I mean, it was just a placeholder because the old, Alien X or whatever it was called was too
Yeah.
scary for guests. So
Yeah.
it was
Right.
pretty frightening, right? So I
Used
mean,
to
you had
jam a
kids
bone
literally,
in your back
yeah,
in the
exactly,
seat.
right?
Ow. Like
No,
what?
no, no, thanks.
Like the what is that? The bug,
Oh
Bug's
yeah,
Life.
the Bug's
Uh,
Life, yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
In the
Same
tree at
same
Animal
technology,
Kingdom.
but it was
Yeah.
turned up to like 11. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Right. Getting a femur right in the back.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Wreck-It Ralph attraction, I think is going to be cool. It's going to be similar, that same style of theater,
Yeah.
but supposedly the queue entrance and exit is going to be where that Merchant of Venus
Okay.
was. So
Sure.
it makes sense, right? Everything always empties out into a gift shop. In this case, it's going to empty
But
out right next to
also,
the
if you were on People
milkshakes.
Mover, that was one of the things that we always used to lean over and look into is the
Yep,
Merchant of Venus gift shop because you could see what T-shirts they had on the wall.
yep.
So
Now it's just
because
all blacked out. So
because that's another thing about especially Magic Kingdom is and Animal Kingdom especially actually. Without it being just themed like Hollywood Tower of Terror's gift shop, that I
right.
know that there are those specific ones, but Magic Kingdom has different pieces of clothing, different T-shirts, different pins at different locations, and they do that for a
Yeah.
reason. Because if
Well, I
they
mean,
put it
it is
all
the
in
most
one,
popular park, right? So
right? But Animal Kingdom too, like you can be in the Island Mercantile and then go across to the other one, and it's totally different, clothing and stuff like that. Obviously, you get some crossover like logo stuff, but oh, you want that sweater? We only have it in this one store, and it's way over there. That kind of stuff. And
I
remember, at
love how
Disney,
Disney. I
if
love
there's
how they can
something you're
tell you
looking
where
for,
it's at.
you can ask them and they'll literally just pull out a computer and look it up and see where it is in the park. And I
Yeah,
think that
we were
that's
at
pretty cool.
was it Food and Wine when we were there last together, and you were like, oh, we're looking for something for your wife, remember? You're
Oh
like, oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah. And
this.
and they ended up having it back at the Mouse Gears
Yeah, she pulled
the
out the
next
spine, and
day.
she's like, oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that was great. Or they can just pull it up on their little handheld, and they can tell you, yeah, it's over at this place. So
right.
definitely always utilize cast members for help, because
And
they know a
also
lot
in
more than
Mouse
we think.
Gears, you can check out on your phone.
Isn't that amazing?
You open
It's
up the app,
coming to more places. Like,
and
that's
so
amazing.
there's
I
two
love it.
places now. It's Mouse Gears and I
Mouse
forgot
Gears and Pop Centuries.
and Pop Century's gift shop.
Yeah,
That's right, because we've done it in both.
right.
That's right, we did it at
So
Pop
Art of
Century too.
Animation, I hear, is about to start testing it
Okay,
as well for their gift shop,
yeah.
and then it's coming to more locations. Obviously, it's being used more and more often. Mouse Gears has had great success with it.
Well, it's
I mean, you
because those
saw how easy
lines
it
get
was.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they have so many registers. They have two walls of registers, and there's 20 people deep. Me, I was in there like zip, zip, and it not only is it linked to your My Disney experience, so if you're an annual pass holder or a DVC member,
Automatic
you get that
discount. Yeah.
automatic discount. You don't have to say I am or hit this.
You don't have to
It's
show your
that was
card or anything. Yeah, it's
that
so
was
much
one of the
quicker.
coolest things. Absolutely, that was awesome. Yep. Seeing
Hmm.
utilizing that feature was awesome and super convenient because we walked in and out of that store in less than 4 minutes. Less than
Right.
4 minutes
We
out
waited
the
longer
door.
to get in than we
Yeah,
waited to shop. So,
literally, yeah.
because
That
that was a
line to get
busy
in that
day.
shop, like, I mean,
It
it's
stretched all
long.
the way out and around to the DVC
Hmm.
booth. Remember, it
Hmm.
was at least 20, 30 people
And it was
deep. So
zigzagged
yeah,
somehow in there. There was no lines. It just everybody just
just
did
tape on the
this.
floor,
Right?
and one cast member going turn.
So yeah, obviously the Wish has that expensive room, but I also saw some other rooms um, for like September sailings, October sailings that they showed, and to get the veranda, the actual veranda. So they have four different. There's the inside stateroom, which is way more scenic than any other inside stateroom on any other cruise ship that I've seen so far, because they make it
Yep.
seem like you're looking outside.
Yeah, you have the
Then
magical
you
porthole.
have
Mm-hmm.
you have an ocean view with an actual porthole that you're just looking outside to. You have the veranda, and then you have dun, 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 dun,
The
actually
suites.
there's a couple more above that, but
Yeah.
yeah, the veranda ones, I want to say that they were like low 3,000s, for a sailing. So in the scheme of things, it's pretty good. And obviously the dining, there's four dining locations in this one, right?
Yeah,
And then
you
they
got
have a
two
pirate
signature
night.
dining
Yep.
locations, and you got your three normal rotational dining rooms, right?
Right.
So, yeah, so you have total of five restaurants, and
Yep.
then multiple, quick service and
Oh,
snack
yeah,
options
yeah, yeah.
available
Right,
throughout
right,
the
right.
ship. So,
Yep.
yeah, lots of things to do. And again, the signature options, Palo and Enchante, those are additional charges, not
Right,
included with
right,
your fare, of course, but those are adult only, and extras,
right.
enchanting extras is what they call them. But yeah, the Disney Wish is on its way shortly to the U.S. after it finishes its christening and building. So we've got just a few more months left, and then it's going to be
So this is
taking
this
its
is
test.
Minnie's ship, even though it's a Cinderella theme on the inside,
Right,
and actually
Captain Minnie is the
a
captain of the vessel.
lot of the storybook princesses are kind of themed throughout
Right.
inside from the video we were watching. Um, but it's Minnie Mouse's ship.
Yep, she's the
She's
captain.
the they built it for her, and
Yep.
they even placed a coin. I forget where they put it.
Yeah, the keel laying process. Yep, at
Yeah,
the
when
bow,
they
basically the
sit
front
it
of the
on
keel.
it,
Hmm.
right? So, and that's like a good gesture of good luck.
Yep, every Disney boat has had one of those coins, commemorative coins placed, and each one is unique to its ship. And yeah, this one
Yep,
just happens to be Minnie on it. So,
yep.
and she's
So.
even christened on the front of the ship. You have a little right below the anchor. Basically, you got Minnie's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
face right on either side.
It
So
used to be topless mermaids.
you're right. Yeah,
Now it's Minnie Mouse.
we've graduated from topless mermaids to mouse.
Right?
So on the cruising front, we talked about Carnival, right? They're announcing a July 3rd presumed resailing date
Yep.
out of Florida.
As long
Um,
as the CDC gives them the
as long as they get the
blessing.
green light, right? So
Yep.
Florida is going to be basically the hot spot where cruising is going to restart. Also, Galveston is the next proposed U.S. port. So you'll have Miami, Port Canaveral, and Galveston, followed by Tampa, and I think New Orleans,
Hmm.
and then they'll slowly start to work their way up the East Coast. For those people out on the Pacific, on the West Coast, you guys may have to wait just a little bit longer. And then, of course, Alaska sailings are still way up in the air.
Yeah.
I know they're still on sale for next summer, but we haven't gotten any further updates on whether that ban that Canada put into effect is going to be lifted before their proposed date. So
Right.
I think which originally was through the summer of 2022 was that ban. So
Right.
we'll see what happens. Of course, I know there's legislation out there to bypass that cruising law that says that we have to touch base in a foreign port to go to Alaska. So if that should pass, that'll change everything, and we could have maybe a last minute summer Alaska sailing pop up
Yeah.
by the end of this year. So
You never know what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people are making moves, and it's really quiet. Like there's a lot of things going on right now at Disney that's very quiet. Cast members don't even know why certain
yeah.
things are happening,
Well,
and
I mean, they were. I mean, let's just talk about the mask thing, right? So Disney announced that on a Friday afternoon and says, "Hey, it goes into effect tomorrow." Like there were literally cast members that came into work Saturday morning and had no idea,
right?
no
No,
clue.
no.
You
I,
know what I'm saying? Like the memo
yep,
hadn't even been printed and posted yet on the wall.
yeah,
So
yep.
Disney's just like, "Hey, let's go." So I mean, that's how quick the decision was made, and it was made basically off the cup by Bob Chapek during an earnings call. So
Loose lips sink ships.
dead
That's
men
funny.
tell no tales.
Right? Exactly. It would have been all over the Google machine.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it went really fast. So I think now that things are turning the page, so to speak, with the vaccination progress throughout America, children are now approved to get vaccinated.
Hmm.
I mean, we even just talked about it before the show. Your son's got a schedule next week to get his first vaccination, and they're coming to
Yeah,
do it right
they're
after
doing it
school.
at the school. Yep.
So, I mean, that's going to be happening, I think, a lot more across the U.S. this summer into the fall. You'll see a
Hmm.
big push for schools to get kids vaccinated. And for parents who haven't already got their kids on the list or on a wait list, I'll see that as well being a lot more rampant as we get out of school. I know my
Sure.
son's last day of school is this Friday, so
Wow, it's crazy.
people are ready to travel.
Yep.
And right now, I'll tell you, is the busiest time of the year, at least this year, to travel. Now
Yep.
through August, I've seen more people booking last minute vacations than ever
Well, that's
before.
because everybody sat around for 14 months. They've already sat through a
This
summer
is
at
true.
home. You know
They
what I
don't
mean?
want to do it, right? And now that you don't have to wear a mask outside in the Florida heat, I mean, it's even more reason to go, right? So
The issue I'm running into right now is availability. I mean, go
that
try to
is the
go to
problem,
Disney in
right?
July. Go try to look up Disney in July. There's
You
nothing.
can't.
There's
Yeah,
one resort. And it changes day to day.
it really does. And park passes now through the 17th of July are slim. So July, even with its increased capacity, right?
And that's
They've
with
got
them
half of
opening
their
it up 3 times.
right, right. So
They've
what I did
extended it
notice,
3 times.
and this is interesting, is Disney's reserving opening up more passes for the fall. They have only opened up more through August, which
Hmm.
is something tells me there's another change coming, right? So we
Sure.
said, between basically June and October, July and October, free dining could come. I think they're waiting to hit that next throttle kick for when
Yeah.
that free dining hits, or for not
Yep.
free dining, but when dining comes back. So that's going
Right.
to be
Right. Yeah.
another
Let's not
huge
say free
catalyst.
dining because then.
Yeah. I mean, we never know, right? So, I mean, Disney's been throwing promotions out the gate left and right.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
now that they've got the mask mandate coming out, and if they drop dining at the same time, who knows? They may not need a promotion. But, everything's been
But
what we
hey,
thought was going to
we
happen.
said we said there's going to be a promotion. Well, I said
Yeah,
there's going to be a promotion. There's going to be a promotion, and I understand the hesitancy. Even November's pretty packed. Yeah, Pat, I've got 3 bookings
absolutely.
for
October and
December.
November.
Like people are like we've been saying, people are ready to start traveling. I mean, they've got cabin fever. You
Yeah,
know, so
no doubt. I know I'm ready. I've got trips planned all throughout the summer. I scored an amazing deal to Hawaii. I mean, of all
right.
places, right? I'm gonna go see my brother in Hawaii in August. I got 2 round trip tickets on Southwest, or 4 round trip technically, 375 each round
Yeah,
trip.
that's
Couldn't believe
crazy
it.
because
I thought I had did something wrong. I thought the Southwest website was having a glitch, and I booked it before it gets even changed. So
right.
there's great deals to be had, but again, everything's last minute. Is if you're under 60 days, short of sitting on the wing, you're probably not going to get anything. Um,
Pat, I remember it being early summer.
I've seen it as early as the first week of August. They used to have it for June and July dates, but
Right.
then June and July got stupid busy,
Yeah.
and they
Well.
said no. So
Right.
because they didn't need it, so that it was basically then it was August to like September, and then they stretched it and went blank for October, and then brought it back just after Thanksgiving
Right.
for November and December. So,
Yep.
but again, that all could change because you got the 50th anniversary. Basically all your offers are ending September 29th, a couple days before
Yeah.
the 50th.
Yep.
And then we don't have anything for after that date as far as offer wise.
Yes.
So I think Disney
Yes.
might hold a 2 week, offerless window to get as most money they can for the 50th before they say, okay, the big news has kind of died down. Remy's is open, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we see something happen late October. Late November, early November, on through the holiday season.
I don't
So
know, man. There's always something. There's always a deal happening. It
there
just
is
always seems
there
there's
always
always
something,
something.
but
And we thought when they took away the ticket deal, I was like, oh man. Like,
but
what are
then
they
they threw
going to
that room
remember?
room
We were
deal.
like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And they just kept that 30. They just kept that 30 just sitting over there like, what?
They just
Did you
knocked
see the
five off the
30?
top. That's all.
Right. And then I just started
Everything else
saving
was the
people
same.
thousands of dollars because of that 30. So,
I looked not that close from Philly. I'm guessing he's talking about round trip
yeah.
airfare. Yeah, I don't know if you can get round trip from Philly to Maui, but I mean, I've got to stop on the West Coast, so you probably have to make 2 stops from Philly.
No,
That's a
it's
long
it's
flight.
it's LAX and then over. And I was finding flights out of Boston for a client to go to Hawaii, and the first stop was Oahu. I was like, see
Really?
what? Yeah, it
You're
was
gonna fly to
crazy,
Oahu,
man.
then go from Oahu to Maui?
Yep.
Makes yeah,
I
that makes no sense.
I didn't make it.
I'm just saying
But
it makes no sense for an
right,
itinerary. But I mean, hey, that obviously somebody's flying it.
right.
So,
Cool,
um,
man.
good show, great show.
Yeah,
Thanks everybody for watching and commenting,
absolutely.
leaving.
Thanks for stopping by. It was great to see you. Thanks for all
Yep.
the
And if
comments.
you're,
Pat Canning, awesome,
yeah,
killing it.
killing it as always, right?
We'll
If you're
put we'll
watching
put
this
up a
on
we'll put
repeat,
up a post in a couple of days and tell you about what we're going to talk about next. We're kind of waiting for a little bit more news to drop. A couple of things
yep.
happened with some all inclusives about brand changing, but not for bad, but for the better. But
Oh,
we
speaking
want to
of all
make sure.
inclusive,
What's that?
now that you mentioned that, before we close here, AM Resorts just finally announced they're the last of their closed resorts,
Yep,
which is Dreams in Panama.
Panama.
Is
Yeah,
Dreams Bonita Panama has reopened as of this past Saturday, and they welcomed their first guests back. So all of the AM Resorts collections, all inclusives around the world, are
yep.
back
Are
fully open
open. Yep.
and ready to welcome guests. So if you ever want to go to Panama, beautiful area, family friendly resort, lots of things to do. Dreams
Yeah.
Panama, check it out. So yeah, again, if you're watching this on replay or on repeat on YouTube, thanks again for watching. Like, drop us a like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And again, let us know if you guys prefer Monday nights over Friday nights, and we'll take that into consideration for our
Yeah.
next show. So
See what we can do.
yeah, thanks for watching, and
You as well, Pat. We'll see you.
we'll see you all again real soon.